Hello and welcome to another update video about gold. Is it finally moving gold? Yeah, it has performed quite well also over the last few days. We had another support area defined here, I think in my last video or so. I think it already reacted to it anyway. We're now observing obviously if the price has really bottomed. It's not yet defined. The situation is still very similar to the previous video. So what do we consider here? We have a bullish wave count, obviously. The idea is that, gold could have bottomed early October here in this larger degree wave 2 low in our support area. That support area was well defined, and we did expect at the time a break to the downside. It happened, and we actually had a nice reversal where it needed to react. So we had a wave 1 to the upside potentially in a 5-wave structure. It's a bit questionable, that 5-wave structure. I explained that in detail in previous videos. However, we have a nice corrective move down. That corrective move down was a bit weak. Didn't even reach the 50% retracement. So that is why I'm not very convinced that this was already a wave 2, which would then result in a wave 3 rally. I keep the door open for lower, potentially in the yellow alternative. That's only the alternative. I need proof for that. And basically this alternative will get activated with a break below 1935, below that red line. It's actually 1935. So it could be that this was just an A wave down, a B wave up, and the C wave down. Yeah, so just an extended correction. The metals like to do these because the metals typically, when they go quickly, but the corrections take ages. Okay, you see that when you look at this price action. I mean, it started to correct in May and it took until October. The yellow count, definitely you need to keep that in mind. It hasn't even broken above the previous highs, the October and November highs. So this could easily still be a B wave, even though a high B wave, but B waves can be high. B waves can overshoot. So we need to be aware of that. So if we now at some point now see an impulse down and it breaks below 1935, then I count that as wave C of 2. And I could even give you a target for that. There are 2 levels that we would watch. It is very temporary, but I just want to give you an orientation. It is temporary because we haven't got a top in place yet. But 1934, would be one level. So so that would actually just touch the red line. You shouldn't ignore that because it's absolutely possible that due to the high B wave, we don't significantly go below the low of the A wave. So the 100% extension level is a key target, but also the 1.618, that's at 1884. So if we form a C wave in wave 2, there is a target range between 1934 and 1884. Okay, based on what we see right now. And that's sort of what the primary scenario says, but I don't really trust it due to all of this overlapping price action. So definitely cannot ignore the B wave, okay? Definitely not. And this is all overlapping stuff. This is not impulsive. Okay, could it be a wave 1? Again, wave 1 of the larger degree third wave, which could send us to 2,300 plus. Could it be a wave 1 in a leading diagonal? Absolutely. So as always, the next pullback will tell us the truth. If the next pullback is corrective, it will set us up for another rally in a third wave. And as soon as I have a top in place, I will add a support area. We had one here, worked out nicely. We had one here, worked out nicely. And I had a few other ones here as well, which I took off because they're not relevant anymore. But and what's happening right now? I mean, this wave 1, if this is wave 1 of the larger degree third wave, then I think we talked about in the previous video, possible targets here. Possible targets are, let me just double check if I actually measured that correctly. Yeah, so we normally say that a wave 1 of a larger degree third wave, there are a few levels to watch. 2013, it's exactly where we're now. That's an initial pivot, you could say. An initial level, and that's at the 38.2 extension. That's the very first level that we would normally want a wave 1 to react. Now, oftentimes they move beyond just to the next level. That would be at $2062. So very simple. If we break above 2013, which is not only the 38.2 extension, it's also the previous high, then we should get to 2062. If we get rejected here and the pullback is corrective, I count that as a 1-2 setup. Maybe it makes sense to give you a support area just in case, because if it gets rejected here, it will be here most likely. Then support would be 1953. 1953, and I add the 38.2 fib level as well. 1953 to 1986. What we don't want is a break below 1953. If it does that, it would strongly suggest that the yellow wave count is playing out, which is just a reset of wave 2. Yeah, that's my update about gold. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500, as well as regular updates about stocks, check out our stocks and S&P 500 service. You can find the link in the video description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.